first annual Los Angeles Silent Film Festival. Thank you so much for coming out. It's going to be a pretty great show, I think. I'm curious, how many of you folks out here have seen this film before? Okay, so there's some. You repeat customers, I see. For those who haven't, a quick recap on the making of this film. As you may know or not know, in 1924, 3 different studios were brought together by Marcus Loeb, who had a very large theater chain, Metro Pictures, Samuel Goldwyn Pictures, and the Louis B. Mayer Productions. And they were brought together to form MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer. And so they had all these stars and different things, and they're trying to make a big splash for this brand new big company. And so this was one of the, I think, the first production that they made as MGM, and they held it back though. They didn't release it right away because they wanted this to make a big splash during the Christmas season. It stars Lon Chaney, and right away you think, well, that's great, because he was hot at the time. He had just made Hunchback of Notre Dame the year before, so his name was hot, so they knew he was going to be great. We have Norma Shearer, who was a rising star at the time, and she would go on to become very famous, especially in the sound period at MGM. We have John Gilbert, who had joined MGM after leaving Fox the previous year. And he was a little bit discomfited at the beginning because this part isn't a giant part for him, and he thought MGM was trying to tell him something. But it turned out they just wanted to acclimate him into the system that they were trying to develop. And by the next year, he's making classics like Erich von Stroheim's The Merry Widow, and as we will screen tomorrow night, if you have a chance to see it on a big screen, The Big Parade, directed by King Vidor. And he became a megastar. And basically that was the top grossing silent film of the entire silent period. So, so those elements are brought together. Oh yes, and also Tully Marshall. For any Tully Marshall fans out there? All right. Character actor that just pops up, and he's had a good decade. He keeps these films that were lost show up, and there's Tully Marshall. He's one of those individuals that when he was 20, he looked like he was 60, and he just never changed. He just, even when he was 60, he looks like he's 60. But it's always great to see him. I think he's the evil Count Mancini. That's right. Let's see. Oh, and then Mark McDermott is just great. He's perfected his villainous characters by now, and you will enjoy that villainousness. And then directing this is Victor Sjöström, imported from Sweden. Some consider him the father of Swedish film, and he had directed films like The Phantom Carriage, if you ever get a chance to see that. It's just great. And he came over here, and he's made a few little important films like The Scarlet Letter in 1926, The Wind in 1928, both starring Lillian Gish, who was with MGM for a 5-picture deal. He perhaps is best remembered today as he's the lead actor in Ingmar Bergman's Wild Strawberries, and he's just fabulous. So a great actor, great director. You will see on tonight on the screen his greatness as it emerges. I want to just quickly thank our partners, the American Cinematheque. They've been fantastic. This would not be happening if it wasn't for them. We're so happy to partner with them. Especially Christian, who I forgot to thank in the first screening. So Christian gets a special screening mention now. We also are very thankful to Mount St. Mary's and their graduate program of film, television, and new media. They came together. They came up with the financial resources and a lot of this equipment that you see on stage, so we would have music. And we were really thankful for them for making that part possible. Tomorrow we've got 4 great screenings. Some of them are getting close to selling out, but they haven't yet. Silks and Saddles in the morning, it's a new Universal restoration with Marion Nixon, and her daughter is going to be here, and I think a sundry grandchildren as well. It's one of those delightful comedy dramas, and you'll leave smiling. And then a personal favorite of mine is Lovers in Quarantine with B.B. Daniels, who we were talking about Harold Lloyd in the first screening. Well, she was one of his early leading ladies, and they kind of had a little bit of a romance. They used to dance together quite a bit. Well, tomorrow she's getting her moment, and so many of her Paramount films are lost. This is one of the real lucky survivors, and it may not have been, I don't know if anyone had seen it in the last 100 years. It's one of those things that's just recently emerged. Paramount did the restoration work on that. The big parade, as I mentioned, at 7 o'clock. You need to see it on a big screen. I have the Blu-ray at home. It looks great, but the true impact. I think all these films really, when you see silent film, when it's restored so it looks good, projected at the correct speed, and then with live accompaniment, really gives you a completely different view on what silent film can be, and hopefully dispelling some of all the negative stereotypes that it's accumulated over the years. I did want to mention, and then at 10 o'clock, Claire Bow, who's probably just waking up, getting ready to go to the club, but she'll be here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock with Eddie Cantor in Kid Boots, and that's our 10 o'clock special tomorrow. And again, brand new restoration. These are, other than one picture, I think all of these are, if they're not brand new restorations, they've been recently restored. Let's see, Sunday, real quick, we have See Up the Road with Sally at 11 a.m. If you know Constance Talmadge, and if you'll want to be here. If you don't know Constance Talmadge, you'll want to be here. She was one of those great. F. Scott Fitzgerald called her the Flapper Deluxe, and she was one of those, flaming stars of the 20s. And then at the end of the period, she just said, "I'm retiring." Her and her sister made tons of money and didn't lose it in the stock market crash. So good for her. And but luckily, this is one of her earlier films directed by William Desmond Taylor, who was famously murdered in 1922 and is still unsolved to this day. So you get a chance to see some of why he was such a big director. And then Enemy Sex at 5 o'clock. And that's a Betty Compson drama. And then closing out the series, unfortunately it's sold out already, is The Man Who Laughs with Conrad Veidt, which is one of my favorite films, so you can clap. I'm clapping with you, but that would be really terrible with the microphone. Okay, and then all of you are invited to go to the Los Angeles Silent Film website, or we have, I think, a couple things right out here in the hallway that you can scan with your phone. We have a program, a downloadable program for the entire series, and we encourage you to download that. You can read essays about the films and all kinds of good stuff. And that is available for free. Doesn't cost a dime. So now I think I've run out of stuff to talk about. And everyone, you're supposed to applaud right now. Thank God he's going. But I do have one more thing to do. Andrew Earl Simpson is an acclaimed composer of silent film scores, operas, orchestral, and vocal music based in Washington, D.C. He is the resident film accompanist at the National Gallery of Art and at the Library of Congress's Packard Campus Theater. He's performed across the United States and abroad. He also conducts orchestral and chamber ensemble scores for silent film, both live to screen as well as recording. His film scores have been broadcast on the Turner Classic Movies channel, and more than 50 performances appearing on Kino Lorber, Flickr Alley, and other home video releases, providing you the magical musical trail that will bring this film to life. Let me introduce and give a big hand to Andrew Earl Simpson.